What am I doing here?
I know what you're doing.
I don't know.
What are you doing?
It's early. It's confusing.
I know.
Things are happening. The listeners can actually see you if they watch you on video now.
What? I
It's
know.
amazing.
Greg bought a better camera all because of one person, and they're never going to see me because they stop watching.
That is true.
Paying attention.
They said they would never watch the show.
And that's great. You know, I did it for them, and everyone else benefits. That's what we do here at the Funny Book Forensics podcast.
We care.
We care.
We care. A little.
And it goes a lot.
A lot. We care a lot. Yes. We care a lot.
Faith no more. No more.
It's faith no more. Wow.
Yeah, we care a lot.
Yeah. Sorry. I missed that one big time.
I know.
Well, we are back, and we're excited because we're at the end of Booster Gold Season 1.
Season 1. Oh my gosh, what a great season we've been watching here at the Funny Book Forensics.
When did comics sort of start this? I don't know. I don't know if you have a definitive answer for me, but you know, I guess because I read month to month as a kid, right? I didn't think about comics in like 12 issue series arcs, right?
Oh yeah.
I just read them. I would think of them in like 3 to 4 issue series arcs, right? Or 2 issue arcs, or depending on the era, just sometimes a single issue. But when graphic novels started, right, and we were talking about the last couple of weeks, we were talking about the sci-fi graphic novels that DC did and the regular graphic novels, and Marvel was trying some too, and different things. And then I know as we went direct market, right, and we've been talking about the direct market a little bit through the Booster Gold coverage. So Booster Gold was a newsstand book. But as the direct market happens, creators were also starting to be told to place your book in a 4-issue arc, right? So that gives you how many pages, Greg?
About 26, 27 pages.
Times 4. Times 4.
All the I'm going by book, and then
so if you do a 5-issue graphic novel or you do a 4-issue graphic novel, you get between 110 and 130 pages, right?
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah.
And now the storytelling is indicative of that. I mean, if you pick up a comic book series, the story arcs are often you got it 4 issues, 5 issues, right? Like it's just So it's become now, it's almost annoying in some ways because we're starting a new story, and that means you're like, okay, so this story is going to end in 5 months, and sometimes I feel like those stories don't need to, right? Like some of my favorite stories are like 2-issue stories where and I think Travis said it on the podcast, but you've mentioned it before too, but holding the A plot and the B plot and the C plot, right? And you do a 2-issue story, and that's the A plot for that story, but the B plot is ready for the next issue, and then you've got the C plot in the background ready for you to pull out at some point in the future, right?
Yeah, and you always got that kind of like there's an underlying or overarching story that is the sinewy, continuous piece that pulls it all together.
Well, I read a lot of team books, so you could tell the story a little bit differently, right? Because with like a group like Legion, you could rotate characters in and out, right?
Yeah.
So you didn't necessarily have to have the team was the sinewy part. That holds everything together, right? And then you have. I feel like Paul Levitt sometimes had like D and E and F plots right back there, like you know, and could pull them in, and then that becomes like the next little story arc with that group of characters. I didn't read as many solo books, so I wasn't as familiar with that, what you're describing, right? That's not what I read as a kid. And obviously I read them later, but I didn't. And then a lot of solo books too now, and obviously I think we're seeing that with the Booster series. And I would say now, but forever would develop a supporting cast, right? So to call them solo books was always a little bit of a misnomer, right?
Right.
Because they weren't solo books. You always have this supporting cast. I would
Yeah.
almost argue, like, as far as solo superhero books were concerned, Spider-Man always had that supporting cast for when he was Peter,
Right.
but not when he was Spider-Man, and they held on to that for a long time.
That's pretty true. I mean, he's a singular superhero without any support in a sense, right? You know,
At least for the first
doing
100
his thing.
and so
Yeah.
or more issues of the book.
He's figuring out his powers, figuring out himself, figuring out how he fits into doing things and whatnot, you know, and then going through his day to day as Peter, and then like you said, you get all that support and stuff like that. But I think that's where he leaves the superhero persona behind and steps back into himself when he needs that, and needs that kind of regulatory check-in, if you will.
Yeah.
And gets that from his friends, his family, Aunt May, and then, you know, gets that, you know, that punch in the shoulder from Osborn, and, you know, they buddy up in their apartment and everything like that, and then goes on with his life.
But then you also, and then in the future, so we'll get to Booster in a second. In the future, it seemed like team books became, I mean, the easiest example is just saying it's all like Team Arrow and Team Flash from the CW stuff, right? That's how comic books became, right? Like, it's so, you know, you'd have a solo book, but in that solo book, you have a collection of heroes to run around with the hero, and you had a collection of supporting cast to run around with them in their civilian identity. And some of those may cross, some of them may not cross, but you sort of had that solo titles became not solo titles in my mind. They became team whatever. A lot of the time, not everybody's book, but I was saying a lot of the time it became that, because you had, if you're going to write a 5-issue. Yeah. And if you're going to write a 5-issue story too, you can't just, if the story is always going to be 130 pages, it can't be, well, it could be, it would be mighty boring, but it can't be 130 pages of that superhero's introspection.
I mean, you got that with Metallo.
Lex Metallo?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
all introspection.
Mentallo, right? Wait.
Metallo.
Wait. Yeah, I know
Flex.
I know Flex. I'm saying,
but it was all
Metallo.
But it was all
this. What's the Superman villain's name?
Which Superman villain?
Isn't it Metallo?
Pixelplex?
No. God. Anyway, it's Metallo.
But
right?
But it's all
we read the books.
Metallo. But it's all
no, it's Mentallo. I was right.
Mentallo.
Mentallo.
But it's all interesting.
Metallo is a Superman villain. He's a robot. You're like, stop obsessing over the name. Let me make my point.
But with Flex, it's all introspection. But himself,
and it's boring as
about
hell.
People he's got. No, it's actually interesting.
And we had very different takes on that, Reed.
I know. We did.
It got to be too much. Okay, so what I liked in that, not to rehash it, but I liked the visits of like the Silver Age, Golden Age, Silver Age, Modern Age in the kind of comic book thing, but I didn't find the book to be particularly appealing.
What about when we're reading Dusk?
I think Dusk is a film noir, so that's a different, and it's an intended to be miniseries piece. You don't have to go anywhere with it later.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it. Yeah, I'm not saying all books are this way, but that's not a superhero book either.
I know it's not a superhero book, but it's, I mean, okay, well, take a look at, you've got, with Human Target, it's introspective. He's on his own. He has a cast of people that he could lean on, but he doesn't necessarily.
That was a unique series, though, because there was constant interaction there was a pair up it's not unique. I wouldn't say it's unique. No, I think it fits the model because there's a pair up every issue And the overarching group, his team was the Justice League International.
I don't think his team was the Justice League International. He was working.
Those were the supporting cast.
Well, you could see it that way from one view, but I think altogether he was working on his own to solve the crime. They just happened to be part of it.
But the two things you both picked were basically PI stories. One a superhero PI story, and the other one a PI story.
Well,
Human Target was very film noir too.
Well, I'm just pulling references from things that we've covered.
Well, is there something besides a film noir piece that fits this? I'm sure there's a billion examples, right? Like, I'm just saying, but the trope
Incredible
has
Hulk.
become this. Which the 70s or the now Incredible Hulks? I don't read them.
The 70s, the 70s through the 80s.
The 70s was all Team Hulk, right? I mean, he went around by himself, but you always had Rick and Samson and
when he wasn't
Betty
the Hulk.
And well, he would only be the Hulk for like 5 pages.
But when he was the Hulk, he had no one but himself, Dan.
Smash. Hulk smash. Yeah. Well, I mean, you did have whole issues with the Hulk.
You could say the same about Wolverine. I mean, yeah, he's on a team, but he's really all about himself.
Wolverine solo books are not great.
I mean,
again, haven't been reading the current ones, so I don't know. Well, anyway, Booster Gold gets it because he's not a masked superhero, right?
That's true. He's a public figure. He's out there. Everyone
his Team Gold, so to speak.
Yeah.
Gets to be that whether he's masked or not. So, and they start him with a supporting cast from the beginning.
Yeah, which is cool because you get to see him in even though he's got the persona, he kind of like lets the veil down a bit with Trixie, and he's like, oh yeah, so this is who I am.
Now, I will say, out of the first 11 issues here, and 12, and this one too, I found, I think we've talked about this a lot, right? I think Barbara Randall / Barbara Kesel, now editing this book, it's going to take a sharp turn for the better in my mind. I think one of the weaknesses in the book was not the supporting cast per se, but the villains he's fighting.
Yeah.
And so, we had and we mentioned too, the crossover issues didn't help. Or the special guest appearance issues didn't help. But one character I really liked that appeared was Thorn. And nowhere to be seen as he goes back to fight the 1000. So I felt like maybe he wasn't allowed to use Rose and Thorn anymore.
Maybe.
But that seemed like a logical bring back here to tie up the story. We don't get anything there. We also get I said because I'm thinking these villains were not good, right? Like Blackguard, not great. Mind Dancer, a little bit better. The Twister is a terrible villain. Whoever the space alien people were, not great. The Chiller is absurdly awful, both in character visual design and character conceptual design. It's just not, like, I freeze my face in a position with this spray, and that's why I'm called the Chiller. Like, it just not great.
But they drive the story. That's what they do, Dan.
They do. Yeah, it's not good. And that's, I think, the cool thing, if you keep reading past issue 12, is you start to get really cool supporting characters and some really interesting, like, crossovers coming up.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing about this too is I don't know. I think it was an interesting choice to pick the 100 / the 10 / the 1000 to be the villain group moving through these stories. And you go back to the original, it's originally a Jack Kirby concept, right? Right back from those books we were reading. I know it showed up in Black Lightning because I read those books. And then it shows up here. I feel like we got something that had been recycled twice and failed the first 2 times.
I mean,
we tried again.
I think sometimes you need a familiar face or a faceless to be there, to be the bad, and the 10, the 100, the 1000 fit the bill, if you will. And
but with the original Jack Kirby stuff, sorry, I cut you off.
I was going to say, and they give Booster someone to fight against, but also someone to dislike Booster, who's a likable guy.
I don't think he's that likable of a guy. I think there's a lot of reasons that you could dislike him.
There's a lot of reasons to dislike him, but at the same point, I mean, the person that he projects is somebody that's likable to an extent.
Yeah, and I get
he can't drive a car, and he doesn't know his words really well.
And we got an origin story, right? Because he makes the director mad right away because he foils his plot to become president. But it's just, I think this overarching first 12 issues, just the villains are not super strong. We do get a moving storyline. We do have the MacGuffin come in out of sort of nowhere of his suit losing power. I mean, all of a sudden in issue 10, it's like, oh, we just now noticed this.
His batteries aren't charging.
And I think that hint probably could have been dropped more successfully through the first 10 issues. So it's not just here's a convenient plot point, right, to make him weaker for the final boss.
Maybe, but I mean, at the same point, I mean, we don't know how his powers I mean, we know how his powers work, but we don't know how they work. Does he plug into a USB-C and charge overnight, or does he not?
I think they had USB-C.
Exactly. So, I mean, like,
they maybe lost the power adapter. It's like, remember back in the 80s when you had a different size little hook in for everything, and so you had to have like 9,000 cords. In fact, you probably still have.
I do. I have a box of
those and power supplies at
your house. It comes in handy all the time because weird things arrive at the house, and I'm like, oh, hold on a second, let me get one of those things, and I pull it out, and it's like, I saved the day.
You do own a retro store, though.
Yeah, so it saves the day.
Well, we should probably get into this. You were correct. It is a cool cover. Action Comics number 584 is coming, it says.
Oh, shoot, I'm reading the wrong book.
Should we look up what happened in Action Comics 584?
Yeah.
I'm curious. I love how they advertise it, and it gets me distracted every time.
Oh, no.
I probably should have looked this up before the podcast. Action Comics Volume 1, 584. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Oh, this is a super famous cover, actually. It's the one where Superman is holding Donna Troy by the neck and tore Cyborg's arm off. It's a John Byrne cover, I believe. Yeah, it's a very famous cover. So it's first all new issue. So we're full into the John Byrne Superman universe here.
Wild.
Yeah. So they were correct. This was one they pushed mighty hard. So there you go. So they were onto that. And this is by Dan Jurgens with Mike DeCarlo inking. We've already mentioned that new editor, Barbara, has taken the book over completely from other Mr. Gold. And Gene D'Angelo on colors and Augustin Moss on letters. Augustin Moss. See if they rotated the letters in and out of this book too. I will say, like, I do think all the criticism aside at the start, I do think that Dan Jurgens did a phenomenal job holding this book together and the concept through a couple of editors, right? And then also constant changes in, it's obviously him doing the art, but constant changes in letterers, right? This was clearly treated as a third tier book by DC, right? They weren't giving it consistency. But I feel like they did give it the help, like letting Superman come in, letting the Legion come in.
Yeah.
So they did try.
It's like, oh, hey, we'll give you
helped.
Yeah, we'll give you these powerhouses to play with for a while in a couple issues to booster.
Why couldn't they just give him some better? Maybe Dan Jurgens wanted to create all new villains, but like even this last one, Shockwave is awful.
Well, I mean,
he's clearly just there to destroy the building. I mean, that's
I feel like if you've got a hero like Booster who's not anybody else you've ever seen, you got to give him all the F Troop villains, right? All the villains that are not they're not even like they're not your farm team. They're like worse than the farm. They're worse than the farm team, Dan. They're like they couldn't even be the replacement villains.
A lot of these villains though were created for this series, right?
I know. And that's
like Blackguard.
Yeah.
And
so
I wonder how many appearances the Twister made.
I'm imagining one. This book, this
says
series,
Mr. Twister had one appearance, yes, on New Earth.
That was it.
Yeah,
he looked cool for a minute, and then that was it.
Major Blood.
Yeah, Major Blood.
So yeah, I mean, and then Blackguard obviously is now just a punchline in Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
Mind Dancer. Yeah. Okay, I'll quit picking on all the villains and stuff, but just to say that, yeah, I think that was the weakness there. Now, before we get into issue 12, we kept reading.
Yeah.
And so obviously this is what we do on this show. Like, sorry, I don't want to be we're going to get into the upside of this in a second.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah, we analyze comics. And so this was there were parts of it that weren't my favorite and were a little bit of a slog to read, but I kept reading. And I'm telling you, we're going to keep going because issue 13, really good.
Really good.
It is.
You heard it from Dan the man himself. He said it was good.
Well, issue 13 as a spoiler, because I started to spoil it last time.
Oh, man.
Issue 13 has, and this is why I can't figure out why this book isn't worth more money. It's not the first appearance, but it's the first post-crisis appearance of Rip Hunter, as everybody knows Rip Hunter to be.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
And so, yeah, Rip Hunter was a very different character in the Silver Age. So nobody credits it as Rip Hunter's first appearance. But Rip Hunter hadn't been appeared at all.
Not been around.
And then they this is like the Redux. It's even credited in the DCFandom.com as Rip Hunter's first appearance.
Fair.
This is very different than the original Rip Hunter. Anyway, we'll get into this. We are in the Aftershocks.
Yeah.
Aftershocks?
Yeah. Aftershocks of his
Shockwave's in his Hardy boxer still.
Yep.
With his that's an interesting costume choice too, like that goes with his Shockwave suit. If he's basically got a metal harness on top and boxers on the bottom, generally that's not the combination. I think the metal jockstrap would have gone with the metal harness on top.
Well, he's all about comfort, Dan. He's a comfort king.
Apparently. Well, the media is horrified by this because a building just fell down. So that does make sense.
What are you going to do about this?
Yeah, you got to fix this right now.
Can't fix it.
All the police are complaining about how heavy Shockwave's armor is. And Booster's standing there in the rubble. saying, "That's the story, Stone. I managed to trounce Shockey, but not before he did a waltz on the roof and caved in the place." And I think I feel like Booster's narrative here is very similar to what we might see in the media now when you're recounting events. Yeah, I won. See, just the entire building fell down. I lost my entire headquarters. I am losing my power, and my boss's or associate's daughter is missing, and my best friend is missing. But that's a win for me. That's a win. Just call that a win. In my book,
chalk it up.
That is a win. Winning.
Don't look at
me.
Don't look at all the bad things. Look at the good thing.
Yeah, it just sounds like a win. So, well, the media is like, your rep's really on the line on this one, cowboy. I'm calling him cowboy.
Cowboy, because he's running around like a cowboy.
Well, and then in the background, we have a whole bunch of people in the background yelling, "No more heroes, no more heroes," and they're protesting.
Mm-hmm.
Let's test Greg's history of the DC universe.
Yeah.
What series is about to happen in DC Comics that they're referencing there?
Don't know.
Well, I'll give you a hint. Crisis is over, Greg. Crisis is ending.
Oh. Give me a hint.
I'll give you a hint. Remember your favorite Mr. Miracle character, Glorious Godfrey?
Yeah.
He was the villain in this miniseries.
Mm-hmm. Still don't know.
It's called Legends.
Okay.
And Glorious Godfrey was turning all of the Earth's people against superheroes at Darkseid's behest. So there were all these protests.
I see.
It's the first time Jason Todd got really beat up.
Oh, no.
Not blown up. That's later.
Just beat up real bad.
Yeah, and people... the problem is, though, beating up Jason Todd and hurting Jason Todd doesn't really, help you get any sympathy.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that was the best strategy.
Fine.
We also start to get some of the ripples of the John Byrne Superman office coming out of this storyline. You get that's where you start to get the Legion. Is Cosmic Boy goes back in time and he can't figure out why time is so different.
Oh.
And that's where you start to figure out, it's because they didn't know. Superman doesn't know him when he sees him. You'll notice in this book, and this was called out in the letter column, Superman didn't know what the Legion flight ring was that Booster was wearing.
Yeah.
Because he had never met the Legion of Superheroes. Again, bold choices. Take your second best-selling book from a couple years ago and then basically editorial it out.
Change it.
It's brilliant. Well, Booster is giving us a recap that was happening all this time during Crisis as we led up to this time, and he goes through all the great villains he fought, the Chiller, Blackguard, the robots, Mind Dancer, Shockwave.
Yeah.
Notice he doesn't mention Jason Redfern.
Well, he wasn't a villain.
Well, he could have mentioned the short guy, space alien guy.
Yeah, he could have mentioned that, but that didn't happen on Earth.
Which also really tells me those two Superman issues, they don't even make the recap.
They don't make the recap.
This is the first season recap, and no.
He doesn't even talk about Legion, really. He
talks about the Chiller, though. So the Legion story is referenced.
But
the Superman story isn't even referenced.
Yeah, that's true.
Again, leading to that whole thesis of, why was that there? Where does that fit? Who told him he had to do a Superman story and throw it in there? Or maybe they said, Mr. Jurgens, you get a Superman story. Make one. And he's like, I get Superman for a couple issues? Done.
Cool.
We'll fit it in.
Let's do it.
But anyway, we get our recap. and Booster's kind of slinking away from everybody. And then again, he says, Shazam! Flies away. What's going on these days? That crowd is absolutely hostile. They hate me. And for a guy that is his whole universe is being adored by the public, that's got to be rough.
Got to sting a little bit.
Yeah. And then he's talking to Skeets about his power loss.
He's like,
it's not so good.
It doesn't feel right.
Now, the bad part about this is Skeets is like, my scanners show the power levels of your force shield, booster shots, and entire power suit at only 17.3%.
Oh, no, that's pretty low. Better charge up.
And it is interesting later, too, that they will even rewrite. And I was actually going through the who's who in the DC Mayfair Games universe the other day.
Oh, yeah?
But even, they'll quickly try to even write out sort of the flight ring and the force shield belt, too, after Crisis. So they'll eventually try to write that out. They bring it back later because it's convenient later on, 20 years later, for him to have those things.
Right.
But they even sort of try to like minimize that as well as you go through. So, because, editorial, that Mr. Byrne can't have it. Can't have Superman connecting to the future in any way.
Man.
No Supergirl either.
No future stuff.
No Superboy. Well, Supergirl dead.
Terrible. Supergirl not dead.
Yeah, Supergirl was dead.
I mean, not in my heart.
Oh, because you had the Helen Slater movie, which...
Yeah. So good. Hey, we can differ.
Oh, I so tried to like that as a kid. I wanted it to be good. Anyway, after all that, Dirk walks away. He's calling the press a leech. There's an impending storm coming, apparently.
Oh, no. Yeah.
And we get back to the Millennium Shipping Warehouse, brews an evil storm of its own.
No.
And they managed to dress up Trixie and, is her name Sarah? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we talked about that last time. You said any book with a character named Sarah.
It's a good book.
So the first thing they do is give Sarah some implements to take. Start using her powers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, they're wandering through the security complex. Dr. Shocker. Who doesn't appear to shock people.
No, he doesn't. It's kind of
That's the other thing with the villains. Like, why do all the villains have names that don't apply to their powers whatsoever?
Maybe it's just because he's shocking. That's why. I'm Dr. Shocker. I'll shock you with my shocking...
In previous podcasts, we've discussed at length what his powers could be. I don't want to go through that discussion again.
I mean, we could not do it.
But she looks in and she sees that Senator Ballard is a hostage. Wait, I thought the director was Senator Ballard.
No, he's been taken hostage, Dan.
Are you sure?
Maybe Senator Ballard isn't who you think he is.
Well, maybe
the director
that's the shock.
Isn't. Maybe that's really the shock. Maybe, oh my gosh, maybe what we don't know is he's chilling.
Also, just gonna say,
what?
I'm just going over your joke on the chilling shocker.
Maybe he's a chiller. Yeah.
Or do you feel a chill after? Anyway, so I will say you can tell this is a wrap-up book too, because my God, there is a lot of words on these pages.
It's so many words. If I was a kid reading this, I would have given up because it's too many words.
It is a lot of words.
This is almost Wonder Woman. This is like Perez Wonder Woman words. I'm like
Captain America level words.
Yeah. I like as a child, I wouldn't have. I would have given up.
Yeah.
I just been like, okay, what can I get out of this book without having to read so much? And it's not. It's just because when I was a kid, I hated to read, but I love reading now. But as a kid, it was like, well,
And I would have done the opposite. I would have sat there and analyzed every word as a kid, but this book would have taken me a good 30, 40 minutes to read.
I mean, uh, let me walk that back. I like to read as a kid, but also like if I'm reading a comic at some point and I'm like, it's just too much. Like, what am
Well,
I getting out of this? What are
Booster
they saying?
flies. Well, we're gonna not read it all, but Booster flies over to the to the warehouse, talking to Dr. Shocker slash Skeets the entire time, and and he's
Shocking
like
because Skeets has been hacked by Dr. Shocker. That's
Shocker.
the shocking thing.
And the important thing out of here is I was afraid of that. We might have a big problem on our hands. It's 25th century. Energy cells aren't exactly available at the corner drugstore. So they figured out the
No,
problem, why he's losing his power. Then he lands, and that traitor Flippa and his pals.
I know. He's got all his buddies there, and they're just like they're waiting for him, laying in wait. They crawl out of the
And when did
water,
he
and
turn to the 10? I would think as a
I
good
don't know.
newsboy legionnaire, he would have not come to the dark
Well,
side.
it's all that gear. Look at all that cool gear, man. He got the promises.
Think
They
he
said,
mass produced
"Hey,
it? Did his dad help him?
yeah," and they said, and what happened is like they're like, "Hey, why be part of the Newsboy Legion when you can have your own crew of nothing but flipper dipper subordinates, and you could be the big boss?"
This is a fairly deep cut, by the way. If you're
It
listening to
is a
this
deep cut.
podcast for the first time, I'm sorry. This is we're going back to when we covered Jimmy Olsen books,
Right.
some early Jack Kirby DC stuff. So we went a ways back on you, but we jumped. But yeah, if you go back, and this character was called Flippa Dippa. It was a Newsboy Legion character they brought in to try to update the Newsboy Legion and
Yeah.
give them a little bit of diversity. And if
Yeah.
you go back to episode 388, you can start there, go through 388 through 394 ish, and learn all about Jack Kirby, Jimmy Olsen, Newsboy Legion, crazy stuff.
We'll just put it this. The Newsboy Legion, a bunch of kids who wear normal clothes. Flippa Dippa, their scuba diving friend, wears his scuba gear all the time.
All the time.
All the
Which
time.
would have made his cohorts very prepared to attack Booster Gold right here.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, like right now, and I can tell you this: it is if you're running around with like a wetsuit with a tank on your back, and you got fin feet on, that's hard to fight. It is. I have run around in that gear before, and it is not easy to maneuver because your tank is heavy. You're probably wearing a weight belt. It's just not comfortable.
Well, these guys don't have fin feet at least, but
Well,
and I also am wondering why you were wandering around in that gear and what kind of event you were at.
well, I my we I did it in scouts, and then my uncle had gear and stuff like that, so I went a couple times. But
Is it like a
yeah,
rave or
yeah, no, yeah. I did underwater exploration
you see?
here and there. I still have a tank in my garage. It's
Well,
really outdated. I need to get rid of it. It's not safe.
well, Booster takes out the dispatches of them fairly quickly with Skeets' help. And he starts to go inside the Thousands headquarters, and then Skeet gets the crazy "I'm evil" glowing eyes in the background.
Oh
Because
no!
Booster notices that Skeets is being sarcastic.
Ah, Skeets, you've turned to the dark side. The
Yep.
Millennium Bug.
You know, when the jokes,
yeah,
well, the
cut a
jokes
little
and the
deep.
sarcasm happen, that's when lore appears.
No. Oh no.
It's his two sons, man. And one was always a disappointment. Do you think the crystalline entity would show up here? Because if that happened
Yeah.
and boosters at low power, that could be dangerous.
Yeah. Oh, that would be very dangerous. Oh, so dangerous.
Well, we have Dirk out wandering the streets in his car looking for his daughter, being sad
Yeah.
in one panel. And then we get back to Diamond Director,
Diamond Director.
but not Diamond Director because they're not diamonds anymore.
It's a I don't
Like
know.
a
What do we call it?
diamond.
It's a something. It's
It's a
a
batarang face.
batarang face. Yeah, he's like Zartan.
He's like Zartan. He's gone from Cobra Commander to Zartan. That's probably why he loses.
Oh. He's a man of many personalities. We can't read his file card anymore because it's very disturbing.
Well, Dr. Shocker notes that the Scuba Squad was defeated easily.
He laid waste to them, dispatched them all.
It was no problem. And
Yeah.
so,
Scuba
well,
Scuba Squad.
and the Shocker's like, I can just simply press a button and have his mechanical robot attack him, master. And he's like, soon, Shocker. But let me do these other things that make no sense first. Now he's going to fight the Synthoids.
Synthozoids. So he's got subhumans in the box.
Yeah, basically it looks like that episode.
He's got a bunch of chuds.
It looks like the Next Generation episode where like Geordi and devolved, wasn't it? Geordi, Dr. Crusher, and Deanna all devolved. That is a terrible episode. It's a 7th season episode. It is not a good episode.
Not a good episode.
They kind of, I don't know. This actually kind of does look like a Jack Kirby creation, though.
It does.
I mean, the
colors, the way that the light pops and everything like that. It's a lot of stuff going on.
I think it's a nice tribute.
The design, their characters, their character design is disturbing and interesting.
They're also Kirby-esque in so far of types of villains I would expect to appear in a warehouse as you went through the levels.
Oh yeah.
It's fine
through. Yeah, it's kind of it's like it's almost like boosters on a really bad D&D campaign where he's meeting up with different people at every turn, and he's like, oh man, I rolled poorly. Okay. I ran into this group, and now I got these. What are these things? I don't know.
I just thought Booster was on horrendous amounts of acid.
Oh, that could be. And they're just normal people, and he's fighting all these like unhoused people inside this warehouse.
Yeah, like in all the text you were kind of glazing over at the beginning, you missed the part where Skeets handed him a little square to eat.
Oh my gosh. And he really has no powers at all, but he feels like he has a lot of power, and he's like, hey.
Well, it's okay because he's about to murder all the Synthoids.
Yeah, he is. He's
running out of power, so he finds a gasoline barrel just sitting down in the middle of the warehouse, shoots it, murders all the Synthoids. They burn up.
He's like, die in a fire, everybody. And burns them to death. It's like, that's some terrible way to kill all these Synthoids.
Well, Dirk makes it to the Millennium Shipping House.
Nat 20.
And you're like, Nat 20. I'm like, I'm already on. Like, Dirk makes it there. He's like, I've got to get my girl out alive. So I'm sure Dirk Jerkface is going to be the pinnacle of this story. He's going to get in here and take care of everything. We're still going up the levels. And lasers start ripping Booster apart, and they start zapping through his force field. I'm just going to tell you right now that Brainiac 5's force field belt
Yeah.
is amazing. And
Oh, totally.
all of a sudden, we don't see the force field belt anymore in the uniform.
No.
You'll notice that it's gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
And now his uniform is getting ripped to shreds. This is bad.
He is.
The uniform is his power, right?
Yeah. He's getting blasted.
And what is Skeets doing? Skeets is just flying around talking. He's not stunning anybody. He's not zapping things. He's not telling Booster that there's a trap ahead.
Oh, he's not doing nothing. And he's not getting shot by nothing either. Booster's taking all the hits. He's taking all the hit points. And he's taking all the damage.
If Dr. Shocker's trying to make it look like Skeets is a villain, he's sure doing a good job.
Well, I mean, maybe all these lasers are shocking Booster. Maybe that's the shock.
Well, then we get to the next thing, and Booster says, luckily, though, my flight ring has its own power source and isn't affected. So he does acknowledge the flight ring, but the force shield belt should also have its own power source and not be affected, because those both came from the 30th century, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So starting to rewrite that history as we go. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Booster bounces down to the next level. Going down, he finds Trixie and Sarah. He's like, I'm going to rescue you guys. And Trixie's like, you can't, because there's another prisoner. Senator Ballard's here. We got to take care of that.
Oh.
And then he's like, well, Trixie, here, you take the flight ring. The thing we just said was the only thing that works. And it was nice enough for Skeets to suggest it. Skeets said, hey, you should give the flight ring away. So he gives it the flight ring. Skeets is
like the worst helper right now. He's like, hey, Booster, give up all your goods to get them. I mean, that's great. That's very thoughtful, very mindful, very demure. But at the same point, it's not helpful.
And then Booster says, well, that's it. Call me Booster Joe, ordinary powerless guy.
Yeah.
He would have gone with Bazooka Joe. I would have been happier.
No, but he's fighting Director Commander, and now he's Booster Joe. Booster Joe.
But if he would have gone with Bazooka Joe, he could have chewed a whole bunch of bubble gum and then blown a giant bubble and trapped Diamond Director in the gum bubble.
He could have, or he could have pulled out a little comic strip from his back pocket, and they could have had a moment together where he read him a little funny, and then there was a little thing on the bottom that was like a fortune or something.
That's true.
They could have had a moment, and then Booster could have said "ha ha" and put his arm around him, and Commander Director would have been like, "Ah, you fool," and then they would have been best friends.
I would also say that Bazooka Joe never would have gotten out of Dr. Shocker's hair. That would have been there for life.
Oh yeah, now that hair would have taken a hit for sure.
Well, this is where the Shocker gets a little bit irrational. And he's like, we're equals at last. Shocker, sound the alarm. Evacuate the complex. And Dr. Shocker's like, sir? He's like, evacuate the complex now.
What? Quack?
Yeah. Destro is leaving, and Cobra Commander stays there to fight. It's all different scenario.
I know.
He thinks he's going to win. He thinks he's got the advantage. Well, outside, the fire's happening from where Booster murdered the Synthoids.
They're all crispy critters now.
And Trixie's trying to figure out how to use the flight ring, and she's telling it she wants to land. Trixie, the flight rings are based on will. You just will it to land. You just have to believe.
It to do it. Yeah, gotta believe.
You have to tell it anything.
Kick, punch, it's all in your mind.
Well, anyway, he says, Trixie was right. Senator Ballard is captured. Now we know what Diamond Director's up to. He didn't want Dr. Shocker to know the secret.
Oh, what's the secret? That he had Senator Ballard tied up all along?
No.
Oh.
Senator Ballard said, "Those
well,
blasted
that chiller
hoodlums
was there.
kidnapped me. I can't imagine what they want. They've made no demands." And Booster's like, "They probably thought your sunny disposition would brighten up the place."
Oh.
And then Senator Ballard hits a button.
It's
and
a
Skeets
button.
says, "Booster, I sorry." And he zaps Booster in the chest.
Oh.
Skeets falls down damaged because he let out all of his power to zap Booster at the feet of Senator Ballard.
Well,
we turn the page.
Skeets.
And before we can continue, we have an advertisement for the start of the Legends crossovers.
Oh.
So we have the end of Justice League Detroit. We have a Phantom Stranger story and Secret Origins. And we have Firestorm fighting Brimstone with Cosmic Boy laying at Firestorm's feet. And I'm going to tell you right now, I just think I still have never bought that book. And I think we just found a Legion appearance that I don't own.
Oh, well, then you better get on it.
I've read that book, but I don't think that I actually own it.
Yeah.
Just one of those I never bothered to get.
Maybe you need to now.
I may need it. I probably have it. I'm
He's
sure
going
I
to look
have it.
after
I
the
must have
podcast.
it. I'm definitely going to look after the podcast. I may look during the podcast. See how
You
distracted
can't
I
look
get.
during the podcast. Oh, no, Dan. Don't do it.
Well, Senator
So
Ballard
close to the end.
tears off his suit.
Oh my gosh, it's Magic Mike all over again. He's like pony kicks on. He starts doing the thing. He's like wah wah, and he's doing
He's not
the thing,
wah wah,
gyrating.
He's singing Pink Pony Club.
He's singing Pink Pony Club this time. Yeah. Oh my gosh. And then he's got the stank leg going a little bit, and then he drops it down.
Where did he keep his cape under that? And when did he have a cape?
That's a good question. I don't know. He unfurls it from his neck wrap. It's like in the back of one of those members only jackets where the hood is wrapped up inside the neck, and you unzip it and it's got a little bit of a hood that you can pull up over your head when it's raining if you want to. And then he unfurls it and it's a giant ass cape.
Well, we get a lot of monologuing.
Oh my gosh. He pulls out a giant scepter. It's like one of those things where it's like a magician's one that just like, boom, it turns into a scepter.
That wasn't the kind of monologuing I was thinking of.
He doesn't have one of those. Oh no.
He has a giant
It's a gun. It's a gun. He's got a damn dirty hairy pistol.
And he's like, "Booster, you cost me the ultimate power, the presidency." And boy, how he would predict the future.
Oh my gosh.
The presidency is the ultimate power, apparently. It allows you to just do anything you want.
Why does it look like when he puts on the hoodie, it looks like
a Klansman?
Anyway, yeah.
Why does he look like the current president?
Yeah. Oh, wow.
I know. It was foretold the future.
Oh, boy. Yeah. That one panel is a very... Not great there. Yeah,
well, actually, I think it is very great. Actually, it's a very telling panel.
It gives you the ick. It's a very disturbing.
Well, and he's gonna shoot Booster in the head with a bullet.
Yeah, he's like one bullet. That's all I need.
And then Skeets wakes back up, shoots his hand. Skeets is back. Skeets used his last little bit of power to shoot his hand, and that gives Booster a chance to do a leg sweep.
Sweep the leg, put him in a bag.
Knock him down. He starts heading out of there, and Cobra Commander Ballard is like, "Never turn your back on an opponent, Gold. It can be costly." He's like, "Ugh, my arm." He grabs it, slams him into a computer bank.
Oh.
This is very similar to the classic Kirk fight style.
Oh yeah.
Specifically, the fight against one Khan Noonien Singh in the original episode where they slammed him into panels and stuff, and Kirk tried his vaunted double axe handle, remember, and it didn't work. And then Khan starts winning, and he has to get a equipment and stuff and start hitting him.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's because he had to use foreign objects to defeat Khan. It was terrible. Well, in this
Oh,
case, the director's trying to use all the equipment, fight him, kick him, move him around. And Booster's like, my arm's gone. My ribs are cracked. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to stand up and I'm going to do one giant uppercut. I'm going to do a spinning back fist. Spinning back fist. I was early for that. I don't think people knew about spinning back fist. We have a spinning
oh
back
man.
fist. We have an uppercut. And we have a knocked
Yeah.
out Diamond Director.
Oh man.
What a wuss.
He takes him out.
He had every advantage. And now Booster
He
Gold looks
did.
over and goes, oh my God, there's a fire.
That
Matt
fire.
Wagner is bringing the demon to DC 4 issues this fall.
Boom, cut.
Back to the action. There's fire everywhere. Everybody's looking sad because they know Booster's in there. And Booster comes walking out with Skeets. Just falls over.
Like a football player, just like his
ball.
future past self. He walking
finally
it
didn't
down,
drop the
getting that
ball.
yardage. Yeah, he's getting that yardage. He's going. Oh,
he finally didn't drop the ball. That's the metaphor.
He didn't drop the
ball
ball.
this time. And he just passes
right.
out on the dock.
Yeah.
All burnt up and injured.
Naked.
Skeets is
damaged. Yeah.
And that's the end of season 1.
Oh my gosh, it ends in such a it is a hard, that last panel, if I was reading this as a kid, I would have been devastated.
I mean, as
an adult, I'm devastated.
I was devastated as an adult. I wanted to see the next issue. That's why I kept reading.
You don't want to see Booster like that. You don't want to see Skeets like that. I mean, Skeets is just destroyed. His little fins are busted up. All the flippa-dippas were all like giving him a tough time about fins being out of style, and now his fins are all messed up, and now he's like his face is broken and everything like that. And Booster's just a hulking mass of burned up meat.
And where's Diamond Director?
We don't know.
Did Booster
in a
kill
fire?
Him? In a fire? No, but all seriousness, these last 3 issues, the robot issue, the Shockwave issue was a little bit weaker, I think. I thought the robot issue was pretty good. Shockwave issue, a little bit weaker, but it advanced the plot than this issue. And then I kept reading. I read 4 more after this because they hooked me back in. And good writer, good editor, great art by Dan Jurgens. I would love, I'm sure a Booster Gold fanboy already has this page, but
probably.
If this page was available for under $500, I would buy it in a heartbeat.
Buy it.
If it's available for under $1,000, I might buy it still. I mean, it's a fantastic piece of art.
It's a great piece. I think to your point about the Shockwave book, I want to say sometimes you need a book like that to break up the serious tone of what happened with the robots and what we know that we learned with Dr. Shocker and Diamond Director and their plan. So then you throw in a little bit of comic relief with Shockwave and his randomness, or his silliness, I guess. His dancing on the rooftop and smashing the building, and it just seems so just absurd, right? It's absolutely bonkers that would happen, but it makes sense in the Booster Gold world. And then you have this book that is so it just takes you from 0 to 60, all the way through it, and then at the end you're just like,
well, let's think of some of the plot points we had during the first 12 issues to end a story, to end a single issue, right? So we had, if you're going back, he beats Blackguard, but then Mind Dancer comes in, so he gets zapped, right? That leaves you kind of wanting to know what's next. We had the whole going through We had the Rosenthorn thing, like who is Rosenthorn? We had the tax collector showing up, which I think is one of the weaker ones, probably. We had the
Yeah.
holdover, what's going to happen on the planet, right, with Superman and
Mhm.
Fern. We had, will
Yeah.
the president and the vice president survive?
Will they survive?
Which honestly, to me, isn't much of a cliffhanger because I don't think they're going to kill the president in a comic book with the Comics
No.
Code Authority on it. But
No.
yeah,
But at the same point, it's will Booster and the Legion work together to do this, or are they gonna battle it out? And they finally do work together
But
and
I'll
get
just say
along. But
by far the last through three sequentials, right? The
boom,
hey, what's happening to Booster's power? Next, we just destroyed his home.
boom.
What's he going to do? And he declares, I'm going to go get them. And then this one where he falls at the end of the battle, I mean, as far as compelling, like getting me to want to grab the next issue,
Yeah.
we're getting much more effective at that. And I'm thinking too, I'm sure the editorial decision had something to do with that.
Yeah. And I know like how you feel about Dirk. He's a dirt bag, but you do feel compelled to kind of care a bit because you see that he does care about his daughter. I mean, on a human level, right? You're like, oh, okay, he cares about his kid. But then you also have the compellingness that Trixie's been taken hostage too. You want to see a resolution in that situation. You want to see her saved and all, because her sweet aunt is so worried.
I'm just going to say that I actually, for me, my opinion about Dirk doesn't change at all.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to spoil the next few issues, but I will say that the next couple issues probably reinforce my opinion about Dirk.
Oh yeah. I mean, I feel like he's a jerk through and through, but you care about his kid.
Kind of.
I mean,
I didn't, the kid part didn't help me.
okay.
It felt just like a plot device to me. It didn't feel like.
I mean, it definitely was, but
to me, it's just a plot device. It didn't feel. I felt like the Trixie thing was more impactful, and I think you could have done the whole thing without the kid. I mean, it gave you a little bit more build up. So it gave you the kid thing, gave
Dirk,
you that C plot build up in the background right as we got there.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm not saying we should take it out, but I'm just saying like. You could have done it with just Trixie or a different device, right?
Dirk,
like he could have
Dirk wouldn't have done. Dirk wouldn't have done any of that stuff if Trixie got taken. He wouldn't have tried to. He wouldn't have gone the distance to help the 1,000 and screw Dirk over, or to screw Booster over with any of that stuff. If it was just Trixie, it had to be his kid.
Yeah.
So yes, a plot device with a reason. You, as much as you don't like it, it had to be his kid.
Well, if we want to keep Dirk in there.
Yeah. But I mean, you need, if you're going to go the route of Dirk giving up the goods on the computer, Dirk doing this and giving the information and stuff like that. If you don't have him doing any of those things, then sure. Yeah. Then don't do that. Don't have that as part of the story. But I mean, as it's part of the story, he needs something to compel him to want to do that. He's not going to do it to save Trixie. He's not that kind of caring person.
Well, I do want to read a letter.
All right.
From the Gold Exchange. This is from one Larry Schultz of 52 Woodward Avenue, Springville, New York, 14141. 14141. 14141. You can send your hate mail to him. Dear Dan, Booster has reminded me why I don't watch professional sports anymore. Who cares about a bunch of egotistical millionaires? Dan, you haven't given me any reason to care about Booster. Now that I have been introduced to Booster, I can honestly say that I despise him. Booster is not a hero. He's a giant golden cockroach. He may clean up the crumbs, but he's still vermin. Dan, as an artist, you're terrific, one of the top 20 pencilers working today. As a writer, you're boring. The characters in BG are vile, especially Booster. The idea for him was intriguing at first, but after seeing it, I know now that it was too shaky a foundation to build a series on. I was going to read this title for a full year before I decided to stick with it or drop it. I can't wait that long. I'm dropping it. Larry Schultz.
Oh, man. He's going to miss out.
Yeah, I know. He did miss out. And then Dan Jurgens says, well, I hope one of Larry's friends tells him to at least pick up this issue so he can see his letter in print. And maybe, just maybe, he'll even see Booster Gold that he likes a little better.
It's kind of like the guy that got me to get a better camera.
Yeah, just nag, and then disappear when the payoff comes. I will say though, I will say that some of my the issues though, I disagree with Larry Schultz's characterization of everybody. We've been talking about Dirk. I do think there are some likable characters in the book. But I do understand too, we've been talking about the progression, right? And how the story just, in some ways didn't progress in a way that would hook readers in some respects. And here we have somebody saying that.
It's an honest opinion. I mean, it's their opinion of the character of the book that they were reading and how they felt about it. And that's fair. I mean, it'd be like if you're, your opinion, Dan, of what you had read up to that point. If you had only got to book 8, you were like, why am I reading this? If you hadn't had the ability to read forward, you would have said, why are we reading this?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if I hadn't gotten to the conclusion, I would have said we had a couple crossovers. It seems like we got a book. It started failing. They did the crossovers and it's still mid. Yeah, it's just... Well, and I think too, but there are enough, the thing about, I do think he gives us enough things. For me, I probably would have kept reading if I'd started reading this as a kid because there was enough feature references that I would have kept going.
Right.
And I will say, there's another letter in here. I just want to read part of it. It says, I was very impressed with the origin of the advertised Avenger. And I love that line, by the way. I must admit that I had noticed the time conflicts at first. Anyway, now I know. At first, my theory was if you live in the future and the book took them to the past, and between 1986 and 2462, Booster lost them, and the Space Museum gained possession of them, that would have been the flight ring and the force field belt. That's how we had Brainiac 5 stuff. Then that paradox could work. And he's like, I hate paradoxes, but I like it too. And I would say too, next issue, spoiler.
Yeah.
We may start getting into potential time travel.
Oh.
And this is where I think the book can be a lot of fun because I think a Booster Gold that's a little bit goofy, but also has that science fiction part of it. I feel like that's part of the element that maybe was missing a little bit in the first 12 issues because it should be a little bit of a sci-fi book.
Well, yeah, I mean,
weird
it's
stuff
almost
should happen.
Well, it's like without the weird stuff, it's almost like he just pre-toasted the bagel to begin with. And
Correct.
then
I agree.
You got the bagel, it was just pre-toasted.
And it was ready.
It was ready. And we don't want that. We want the bagel and then we want to toast it. We don't want it pre-toasted.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I think we're gonna get more bagel goodness in the next portion of the story.
Well, and I honestly, you bring that up, and I was going to apologize to you this week.
Oh yeah,
because I think you're correct.
Yeah,
this is the first time. This is the very first time in the history of Funny Book Forensics where Dan has said, "I think Greg is correct." I think there are pre-toasted bagels.
Yeah.
Yes. I think they are bagel crisps. Some of the most vile, terrible things that exist in the universe.
Yeah.
But you were correct. They do exist.
They're pre-toasted.
They are pre-toasted. And they're crunchy and gross and the opposite of what a bagel should be. But you were right. There are pre-toasted bagels. And that's why his bagel shop was going out of business, because if you went in to get a bagel and then it was all crunchy, you would have been like, this is not what I want.
But it might be what you want in the future or the past.
Yeah. Yeah, if you had a bagel crisp with some like cheese and stuff on it, well, that might be okay, but they should never call them bagel crisps. There's not bagels. Yeah,
what if it was like a bagel crisp inside of a Gardetto's bag? Like,
no, those are rye crisps first off.
No. What if they got rid of the rye crisp and just put the bagel crisp in there?
That would be terrible. The rye crisps are the best part of Gardetto's by a lot.
I disagree because I can't eat them, but
well, then what do you disagree with me about? Yeah, the rye crisps are the best part. As you will recall, when I used to get Gardetto's, I would eat all the rye crisps out of the bag and give you the rest of the bag.
I know. And then I'd be like, where's the good stuff?
Yeah.
You're like, I've already ate it.
I don't like the pretzels. Yeah, so
Dirk.
It's yeah.
You leave me with the pretzels and those like little weird cracker things that look like a little Russian doll.
Yeah, well, I would eat the good parts. I paid for them. So anyway, well, I am excited. We're spending way too much time on Booster Gold, maybe. If the listeners are tired of us doing Booster Gold, message us, but we're going to do at least 2 more issues.
2 more issues.
Because I want to get to the good stuff.
2 more. Yeah, get to the good stuff.
But we do probably need to start doing something else too, so.
Oh, we will.
But for now, next issue, Booster Gold number 13. And we haven't spent a lot of time talking about it. We stayed on task. It's kind of crazy.
I know.
For the most part. So I didn't talk about jiu-jitsu lawyer Paul, who can represent you, represent people with all sorts of legal things, including employment law, contract law. If you need help, you can reach out to jiu-jitsu. I can say words. Words are my friend.
Words taste like peaches.
Why am I messing this up? Also, you'll find a link in our podcast to a future thing.
Yeah.
That might happen. I understand. It's Raining Alex. It's the new graphic novel by Travis Webb.
It's Raining Alex.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Eventually we'll launch. I have no idea. I keep putting up a link to watching when it can be launched, to the launching what?
Maybe we'll do a live. We'll do a live, not a live interview, but an interview with Travis to find out more.
It would be weird
in the future.
We could do that. It's Raining Alex. Remember, watch out for that on Kickstarter.
Yes.
And also Retro Emporium. I've heard of that place.
Oh yeah,
it's in Kent, Washington.
It is.
It's where your childhood comes back to life, and it's where Greg goes to spend all of his evenings.
Most evenings, like a old 90s cell phone plan, nights and weekends, you'll find me there, moving boxes or other things. Last night we weren't open, but I was moving boxes of VHS cassettes because we are getting our media section back to dead media.
There you go.
Oh my goodness. I felt like I was at Video Update again, working. It's insane.
Sounds awful.
No, it was great. It was great. So many movies I remember putting on the shelves.
Well, come back next week.
Yeah.
We will update you on Video Update. We will update you. But if you come back, you're going to see the first modern age appearance of one Rip Hunter. Spoiler.
Rip Hunter!
We get some time travel shenanigans, maybe. We get more Booster Gold. Yeah. We get to the exciting parts. And you know what?
What?
You get us. And what could be better than that?
I don't know. I mean, I hear marshmallows are pretty good. they're pretty delicious and tasty. But I hear we come in a pretty good second.
Marshmallows are disgusting and vile.
What?
Well, that's another episode. Thanks for another episode of Funny Book Forensics. Just remember, always shoot the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Bye.
Bye.